What are you doing?
Look at all these worms. You want to start the chicken on these worms. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, get the chickens out here. He is gobbling those worms. Come on, pup. We had a really bad rainstorm the other day, and as this rain poured down the hill, it washed like hundreds of earthworms onto the gravel here, and they all died. That's a ton of protein. We're not going to the feed store right now. So we just brought out one chicken to see if she would eat them, and she is gobbling worms. So we're gonna let the whole flock out today to eat the earthworms. Problem is the solution. Yeah, permaculture, bro. What, buddy?
I got a wormy pile and give it to kitten.
That's a good idea, a wormy pile. Look at all the worms.
Yeah.
She's gonna love that.
There's no way to hide. Kitten. I thought you would like them.
What, buddy?
I thought you would like them.
I think she will. I think she'll find them.
And you what? Here.
Oh, dropped your walkie-talkie. Here, chickies! Here, chickies!
Maybe once next time feed, they will find worms. There's nowhere to hide.
Hold it close to you. Little baby will like it. Let's see who's missing out. Hey, Pop. Eyes like clay trails.
Do they?
Yeah, look. Look into the bunny's eyes. And you can see.
Hold it right there, nice and steady.
It's like a baby mouse.
That was me, babe.
It's rotten. One time.
Oh, there's a baby in there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Pointless milk parlor. All that work. Isn't that like, And now you're just questioning what went wrong. We separated the cows. We were gonna milk this morning, the cows. And somehow the calves got out. And we don't know. Maybe they are learning to open gates. That is a nice, pitcher full of camel milk. All right, buddy. On you go. Yep. On you go. You know there's nothing left.
No egg.
Did you check the chicken coop?
Yeah.
What did you find?
Nothing.
There's no eggies?
No.
Oh, okay.
I shot the chicken half down up on the feet. It's probably like a fresh.
Yeah.
Wriggly.
Get a couple of easy bites and then. All right, Mel, let's head out. Let's go this way now, Mel. Back it up, back it up. That a girl. Back. Oh. There we go. In the beginning, when the camels were inside, they're inside more than any of the animals right now. So we were cleaning up after them very frequently. We were like giving them all new bedding, all new bedding, all new bedding. We started letting the chickens in because we noticed the chickens really like camel poop. They're scratching at it and they're tearing it open and they're finding all the whole grains that are undigested. Well, we started letting the chickens in the barn, and what they're doing is they're scratching through the camel's bedding. And the areas that are wet from urine, the chickens are like scratching it and kind of fluffing it around and spreading that dampness across enough bedding where it dries it out. And I'm coming in here every morning to scoop up wet bedding, and there's no wet bedding. So it's prolonging the life of our bedding, working the chickens with the camels. It's really cool to see it working like that. So it's decreased the amount of times we have to clean each day, so we can have like a heavy, you know, like a deep litter where the chickens kind of fluff it around, and it's good for a lot longer. We're wasting less. Ready for a glimpse into a camel turd? There's a perfect little camel poop. People use this for firewood. It's very dry. It's like nature's wood pellet. So you pull this puppy open, dissect, it's like an owl pellet, but a vegetarian owl. So you can see there's still undigested whole grains in these little owl pellets, camel pellets. There's a lot of them, and so the chickens find these and they're loaded with oats and sunflower seeds, all the feed that hasn't been processed by our camels. And so the chickens just tear that apart, eating it all. So it's recycling. So if we take these whole pellets and we, you know, clean them up and get rid of them, we're wasting feed. But if we leave it here, let the chickens kind of destroy them and pulverize them, then we're reusing the feed that didn't get digested by the camels. And yeah, everything. It just helps everything. It's really fascinating. The cows are up on the field right now, and they are loving life. The grass is growing, it's spring green up, and they are chowing down. I am moving them right now about every 2 days is my goal, but they're chowing it so fast, and I hate to see them on a strip for too long. I love seeing cows excitedly run to their new strip. So we moved them onto this one that is behind me last night, and I can see, you know, one of the ways that I tell, I have my little hay bale over here. So there's a little hay flake, and I use that little hay flake like a litmus test, or the canary in the mines. I figure the cows get to pick their greens as much as they want. When they start to eat that little hay flake, it tells me, all right, whatever's out there isn't better than our hay, and at that point I move them. Well, that hay flake was the original flake from strip number 1. We're on strip number 3 now, and they still haven't touched it. I just keep moving it every 2 days, because by 2 days they've really got all the good stuff here. They've trampled it enough, they've done their work, and I don't want to have grass start to grow back and then cows munch it again and do root damage. So basically the maximum I would leave them anywhere is 3 days. So I'm not moving ultra quick. These cows, they get fed off of grass. They're really just, they do really well up here. And yeah, it's a good, right now it's working really good. So happy cows on green grass, it's nice. hear that? It's time for the Homesteady Camel Train shout out. Today's Homesteady Camel Train shout out goes to Sol and Freedy, who are currently on Instagram known as @backyard_farm_New York. But in the near future, you'll be able to find them at Back in the Hay Space Farms. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Back in the Hay Farms, one word, or with an underscore. But thank you, Sol and Freedy, for sponsoring today's episode. The Camel Train is a 100-day journey of daily videos sharing the efforts we're doing to grow our own healthy food here on our homestead and share that information with you so you can do the same on your homestead in whatever ways you can. And of course there's camels, but there's cows, there's chickens, there's rabbits, there's hydroponic gardens and raised beds. There's all kinds of stuff going on the Camel Train. Sol and Freedy have a small family in a very populated urban area, but that hasn't stopped them from homesteading. Right now they have backyard chickens and they're actively looking to sell their house. They want to buy land so they can start a homestead or a farm. At their farm, they plan on raising pasture-raised kosher meats using permaculture and soil regenerative methods. We will have their Instagram link below so you can go and say hi to them on Instagram. Thank them for today's episode. They sponsored it. Sol and Freedy, your one-of-a-kind Camel Train t-shirt is on its way. And also, you have lifetime access to the Pioneer program, which hopefully will have lots of information for you can use on your new homestead about raising pasture-based goats and sheep and pigs and chickens and cows. There's all kinds of great info in that Pioneer library. You can't join the Camel Train, anybody else watching who didn't already because it's sold out, but you can become a Pioneer by clicking there. You get access to all that bonus content and you can join us live for our weekly shows, ask questions, and more. So click there and learn about it. Now let's get back to our video.
He was trying to tell you the whole time.
As you have seen in all our recent cow milking videos, we're having issues with our milking machines, and we thought it was the milking machines at first. I did, but it seems like it's probably our pump. Both machines are not working right. We checked, well, Kay's dad checked the line for leaks. He had a special way of checking a vacuum pump line for leaks. And no leaks. Milking machines are both not working, but they should be. So we think there's something wrong with our old vacuum pump. So we're gonna take this down to Kay's dad's shop where they got a good mechanic down there who knows how these things work, who's gonna take a peek at it and see if he can get it back up and running. But it is a beast, so we gotta load it up, me and Kay today, and get it down there. This should be fun.
So I was talking to my dad about this. He's the one who helped get the tank all redone and put a back on it so the band doesn't chop any fingers off. He said, yeah, there's something wrong, it's not working right. I said, these pumps are supposed to last a lifetime. He goes, well, it already has. Dads. That's why, even if you plan to machine milk, make sure you know the basics of hand milking, because there will be times where your machine will not work.
All set? These are our fancy schmancy row covers. Their grandfather built a greenhouse for their grandmother.
Bulletproof glass.
And he built it out of a metal frame, and then these are the panels that go around it. And he had a bunch of extra pieces of the panels lying around. When they were all done, they were just gonna get thrown away. So he brought us a couple pieces, and it's kind of cool what we did. Take a look. This is our little the way these work they're little teepees. We have these posts in here so they don't slide, and they work perfect like little teepees. I put some end walls on them so the frost wouldn't get in. And now we just take this, we fold it down on this side. That ain't going anywhere. And they all have these channels, so we just tied them together with some poly, 500 paracord. And now we can come to this side, and we can pick up this side, and we can plant this side, and it stays nice and open for you. So it's a nice little system for us to at least get a head start. We've been growing a lot of hydroponic lettuces inside, but there's some things like carrots and beets that are just nicer to grow in the dirt outside. And so that's what we're doing. We're also going to put in some tomatoes right now. Some of our starts. Let's try 'em.
Daddy, what about we have to bury these and take the picture?
Oh, the beets. Good thinking. We'll take our beet picture.
Oh, you should always work with somebody helping you.
I love working with someone who helps me. Because no one really likes radishes in our family.
We could grow them for the bunnies
That's true, actually.
and get more done of the raised bed.
Where did all the trees go? We've been starting our plants in our humidity dome in rock wool, and man, we're doing this for hydroponics, but did fantastic for the tomatoes. They started off really nice. Made it easy. So we're gonna put a couple of these in and see if it works. We're doing them like 6 inches apart. So let's do another rock wool one.
Peach on tomatoes.